not become an entrepreneur. 138 days ago, I quit my corporate job to start a clothing brand and to show others that by aligning their passions with their purpose, everything and anything is possible. And when I quit my corporate job 138 days ago to become an entrepreneur and start my clothing brand, I had no idea of how difficult becoming an entrepreneur would truly be. And in this video, I want to share with you guys 3 lessons that I have learned and 3 hardships that I have had to face that I want you guys to avoid and learn from my experience. So the first lesson that I want you guys to take away from my experience and take away from this video is that when becoming an entrepreneur, and before you quit and jump off the porch to start whatever business that you want to start, whatever side hustle that you want to start, make sure you have a solid plan and a plan that is actually going to generate revenue for you, right? Do not go and quit your job without having some form of secondary income for you to support yourself while you create and while you begin to operate your business. So 138 days ago, I was that person who did not have a plan and quit my job because I thought that I was unstoppable. And I was previously working in a corporate position as a sales associate for the New Jersey Devils, and I was doing extremely well. Very talented salesman, I would say myself, but unfortunately, I ran into some complications, not only becoming aware that I wasn't aligned with my purpose, but also with my team members, right? So I reached a point where I realized that the corporate space was not for me. And I understood that that wasn't my purpose, but I was stuck in the middle between either going full at it and climbing the ladder or completely going directly into my business. And the deciding factor that ultimately made me jump off the porch and go ahead and pursue my business with no plan was the mistreatment that I was facing in this role. So as a sales associate, and if you guys are in sales, you know what I'm talking about. Sales is a competitive environment. And in this environment, everyone is fighting for their commission. We all get a base salary, or everyone got a base salary, right? If you're a sales associate working in a position that has a base salary, then you have a base salary. But some sales associates and some sales positions are only commission based. But in this role, I had a base and a commission. I say that to say that when you are fighting for your pay, things get competitive. Not only do you want to beat yourself and improve from the last day to further your paycheck, right? But you also are in competition with your teammates because they create this environment where everyone is pushing each other so the revenue can grow and the company can make the most money, right? That's business, understood. But in this environment, oftentimes they try to pin you against each other so you guys can get the best out of each other. Although that is what team is all about, getting the best out of your teammates, unfortunately sometimes people go about it in ways that are unhealthy. And that was the situation that I was facing. If you guys want to know more about this situation, definitely let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to go into further detail. But that was a deciding factor. And so I jumped into entrepreneurship and I jumped into my clothing brand with no plan. All I had was a vision board. All I had was a few things in line. I didn't know how I was going to make the clothes. I didn't even know what clothes I was going to make, whether it was going to be shirts, jerseys, pants, sweatsuits. I didn't know what manufacturer I was going to use, what material, how much, where I was going to get these things produced. And so I had no solid plan. And so when I jumped into this thing thinking I was going to make money right away, I quickly realized how quickly I was unprepared and how quickly the money that I had just flew out my pocket and flew out my bank account. And then, because I didn't have a plan, I started investing into things that did not grow the business. I bought a camera, although that does help the YouTube channel now. This is where this led me. I bought a camera, I bought all these different things that wasn't helping me because I didn't have a plan. So that's the first lesson I want you guys to avoid. And I want you to have a plan before you go quitting your job and jumping into entrepreneurship and jumping into business. Number 2, the second lesson that I want you guys to learn from my experience is to communicate not only with the people around you, but communicate with yourself, right? And these videos are a way for me to communicate with myself and hold myself accountable. If you guys go back in my channel, you'll see I haven't posted an update on my brand in over 14 days. The last update was day 124. And the reason why is because I stopped communicating with myself and I stopped communicating my goals. And I want you guys to, if you have a clothing brand or you have some form of way to communicate yourself, whether that be journaling or writing things down, I want you guys to do that because it helps keep you accountable and it helps keep you focused on the things that you are going after, right, in your business, what you need to do day to day, what the current plan is, and how closely you are sticking to that plan and reaching those goals or how far you are off from that. So when I say communicate with others, what I mean is also share those things with people who you trust and people who are around you who are also on similar missions. So like myself, I'm an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur. I want you to be able to share the things that you are working on with me, and we can do the same, and I can do the same with you, so we can hold each other accountable and keep each other focused on what we are pursuing, because entrepreneurship is not easy, and especially if you're not surrounded with other entrepreneurs who are on similar journeys. So make sure you guys share that in the comments, share what you're working on, share what business you have, and some of the struggles that you're going on, that have been going on in your business, because all business have problems, and if your business does not have problems, then you probably aren't running a business and you aren't growing. And the third lesson that I want you guys to take away from this video and take away from my experience where I quit my corporate job and jumped right into starting this clothing brand is to stay focused, right? There's so many different distractions and so many ways that you can get thrown off your path. And the way that I want you guys and the way that I have been able to, although I've tripped 100 times and got back up and started YouTube and didn't have a plan, the way that I have been able to keep pushing and the way that I have been able to continue to go after every single day after failing and seeing no results is because I am aligned with my purpose, right? And I am focused and I know why I am aligned and why I am doing this. And knowing why is so important, because if you don't know why you're doing it, not only will you be distracted easier and thrown off your path, but once you get thrown off that path, you are more likely to stay off that path and not be able to get back on this path of purpose, that path of entrepreneurship, that path of going after your goal. And so the way that I've been able to do this and the way that you can do this is by getting to the root of your purpose. And this is what I did, and this is what has actually helped me the most on my journey. This is one thing that seemed like a loss that has now turned into a win and has now turned into a lesson that has helped me get back on my path every single time I stop posting or every single time I don't make a sale. This one thing has kept me going. So when I first quit my corporate job, I found my purpose by digging deep into myself and understanding what was fueling me to not only get this job, but fueling me to go ahead and become an entrepreneur, right? And this is important for you too. You want to know why you want to be an entrepreneur and why you are specifically going into that business endeavor, right? Because when you know why, you can examine it and also manipulate the results to fuel yourself when you're down. So let me give you an example from my personal experience, right? So when I found out my purpose was to help others, and I knew my passion for fashion was something that I wanted to explore how I can connect my passion for leadership and my passion for coaching and my passion for helping others and bringing others together and having this community. When I looked at that purpose and I examined the why behind it, I found that I had a lack of those things. And so what I had to do was I had to change my perspective from lack to love. And now that I changed my perspective on how I thought about those things, now I was able to have a better understanding and not be fueled by that lack, right? Or fueled by the things that I didn't have. And now that I have that fuel from a good place, I am able to go further than I ever thought I could and stay focused and get back on path quicker than someone like maybe yourself who doesn't know why they're doing it just because they want to have extra money in their pocket or just because they want to, be a CEO, right? But there's a reason that you want to be that, and I want to help you find that reason. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to the link in the bio right now. I want you to go ahead and get the 5 W's Purpose Journal. That will help you find your purpose, and then you will be able to know why you want to be an entrepreneur, why you are going into the specific business realm that you are going into, and know what is going to keep you on that path when things get tough, because it will get tough, and this is not easy. And I want you to remember that I am here for you, and we are in this together. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and get the Purpose Journal. Link is going to be in the description.